Okay guys, hang on a minute, I have to check that this is actually working. Since my setting in my in open broadcast I had to change a few things, so I have to just make sure everything's working alright. It looks okay on my end. Okay, well then then I'm gonna say welcome to the stream or to the broadcast. I guess I have to introduce myself now, since this is my first stream on MagicGatheringStrat, both on their Twitch and hopefully later on their YouTube. I'm Pierakor, or Pierakor, whatever way you want to pronounce it. I've been streaming for a couple months, well, almost a year, I suppose. About 9 months, on my own Twitch channel, with some success. Some events with quite a lot of viewers, some events with almost no viewers. And it seems like I will be working together now, or streaming at least, on Magic the Gathering Strat. And this will be my first stream. I will be playing Modern Daily. I will show you the deck in a minute. I just want to say real quick, since this will probably be also uploaded to my own YouTube as my last YouTube VOD. If you are watching this as a subscriber or just on my YouTube channel, future VODs and any other future videos like deck tech videos or whatever are not gonna be uploaded to my own YouTube, but rather to the Magic Gathering Strat YouTube. So if you want to see my videos, you have to go to youtube.com/user/MagicGatheringStrat, and we will just try to produce more content there together. I mean, I stream only like 10 hours a week, right? And I think if multiple small streamers decide to work together on one side, I think they have a greater chance to accomplish something, greater chance to grow their audience. And this is exactly what we're trying to do here. So you will find my VODs on their YouTube channel, you will find my streams on their YouTube channel, on their Twitch channel. And this chat is completely unreadable. Look at this. Oh. So 6 minutes until we go. So quick recap. No more YouTube VODs on my channel. It's on the Magic Gathering Strat channel. And my Twitch channel will host their Twitch channel, but if you follow my channel, I don't think you get an update when I go live, so you should follow Magic Gathering Strat Twitch channel also. And I will keeping the same schedule for now, although I hope that in the future I might be able to change that schedule, because it probably won't work out with the very late hours for me, which I've complained about when streaming a couple of times. I would like to play more dailies, and this is the first try again. I think over the 9 months or so I've been streaming, I played maybe like 6 or 7 dailies, and every single daily I went 2 and 2, which was always a little bit annoying. I have to say some of these dailies I absolutely played horrible, because some of these dailies for the first time I got a lot of viewers, so I usually had like 10 to 20 viewers, and then the first daily I played I had like 50, and I freaked out and I was nervous, stage fright kind of thing, and I misplayed horribly. Let's hope this doesn't happen again. And also, in a daily you usually see more competitive opponents, better decks and better opponents than in a player run event. So my usual win rate of like 60 to 70% is probably um, not going to be sustainable in a different environment, in a more competitive environment like a daily. But we will try anyway. And this is the list I'm going to play today. Um, I mean, if you've seen my other streams, this is the list I've been playing for a week or two. It's kind of normal to me now, but I guess it's really, really weird if you're not used to it. So let's talk a little bit about the things you see here. We have, first of all, we have Eugene, which some Blue Tron players have been playing. We have Gifts Ungiven, which some people have been playing. So these two things, not necessarily um, new to you, but Noxious Revival and mainboard Silent Arbiter, mainboard Aetherize. So why? Well, Noxious Revival is just amazing with Gifts Ungiven. Oftentimes, when you cast gifts, you need to get a certain card. Like, you need a board wipe, right? What do you get? You get Eugene, you get Oblivion Stone. Well, that's only two. So we could put a one-off Perilous Vault in here, but what if we don't need a board wipe? What if we really need a Mindslave, or if we really need a Tron land? Noxious Revival is very flexible in that spot. So you put in a Noxious Revival, and what you do is you search for Stone, Eugene, Noxious Revival, and some other card, and you will always at least get either O-Stone or Eugene in your next turn, and be able to wipe the board. And in another situation where you really want to have access to, let's say, Urza's Tower, you get Tower, you get Expedition Map, you get Noxious Revival. So one of Noxious Revival, just great synergy with Gifts Ungiven, at least in my opinion. I've been very happy with how it performs. Sometimes you have it in your hand, and that's not great, but it's kind of like a decent tutor still, because there's usually always something in your graveyard that could help you out next turn that you would like to draw, and the 2 life has not mattered so far. So yeah, that's about the Noxious Revival, okay? So the other weird thing is Silent Arbiter and Aetherize. So that slot, the Silent Arbiter Aetherize slot, used to be 2 Dismembers, which I played for probably 2 months already. I played that for quite some time, and I was happy with that. I had a Urborg main, which I could get with the Expedition Map. Like, if you have Expedition Map, 2 lands in hand and 2 Dismembers against something like Burn, then you would get the Urborg very, very aggressively with the Expedition Map, so you can Dismember for 0 life. And that was okay. That worked fine against some decks, and against others it didn't do as much. And oftentimes I just had a Dismember in hand. Yeah, I would top deck it like turn 5 against Zoo, and I would already be at 6 life, and there would be no way to cast it. And I just felt the Dismember didn't have quite the impact I wanted it to have. I still have it in the sideboard, but what I really wanted was more ways to wipe the board, more ways to clear the board. And so I was thinking about getting another O-Stone, but that was really expensive, and usually I have what I need against the fast decks. Usually I have an O-Stone, or I have a Womp Engine, and I'm just playing the O-Stone or the Womp Engine 1 turn too late. So I needed something that's cheaper and buys me some time, and I found that Silent Arbiter and Aetherize work very well. Turn 4 Aetherize usually buys you that 1 turn you need before you can slam Eugene or Oblivion Stone to wipe the board, or you can Mindsaver them for first time. And Silent Arbiter, if he stays on the board, he's like an Aetherize every single turn. He's amazing against so many decks. The main problem is that he usually eats a path right away. That's the thing, right? Against Junk, against Zoo, if they have it, he gets pathed right away. But then you have to ask yourself, well, if he had a path, then next turn, if I played a Womka Engine, he would have pathed that. So it's not a huge loss that he has to use one of his greatest spell against you on your Silent Arbiter. And let's see, Abrupt Decay doesn't hit him. Lightning Bolt doesn't really hit him unless he blocks, and then he's still at least prevented damage 1 turn. It's just a great card, I think. There's not a lot of removal which hits him in a good way. And our daily is starting here, so we will get started and see how the deck performs. As I said, I had very good results with it in general. I am not sure at all how it's going to perform in a daily, but I'm prepared to lose. And I have to do a little bit of moving this around. And we do want to start. This is an okay hand, we're going to keep that. Noxious Revival in the starting hand, not great, but it's not a huge deal. It's not the end of the world, basically. We'll probably not use this, though. I mean, if he conjures our Mindslaver or something, or destroys our island, then it's gonna be okay, but probably not gonna use this Noxious Revival. I mean, it's if we actually gifts, it's still gonna be great, right? If you gifts ungiven, you just look for 4 things, and whatever he really doesn't want you to have, you can still get it with Noxious Revival. So he's probably Zoo. Can't really think of any other deck that would. Yeah. So Repeal's gonna be probably pretty good against some. Mindslaver probably not so much. Genesis. Oh, okay. Oh, that's great. That's just great. I see. Yeah. So this might be Norrin Sisters, but what is the green for? I mean, this has to be Norrin Sisters. I don't see why he would be playing Genesis Chamber because it's non-token creature. I guess he could play this in Zoo, but what do you want with a bunch of 1/1s? Eternal Witness. Well, yeah, you can have that. I don't care about the 1/1 either. I could have, repealed that, but I think I'd rather first one knowledge at the end of a turn. We definitely want to keep the better skull. I think I throw away the Mindslaver actually. We can always get it back. It's just card advantage. I would probably use the Noxious Revival on the Mindslaver next turn. Because we are at 8 mana here and we can Mindslaver him then next turn. And since we have Talaria West, we can get a Caramir Runes then later on. So this is looking good so far, but I'm not sure if he probably has some kind of combo that I'm not aware of. I mean, what we've seen so far doesn't really make a lot of sense. I thought it was Norrin Sisters with a splash for green that I didn't understand, and Eternal Witness. I don't think Eternal Witness you would splash for in a Norrin Sisters build. Okay, I guess it is Norrin Sisters. But I don't think this changes our plan. I still want to Mind Slayer him next turn. Question is, do I use the Noxious Revival before I Force for Knowledge? I don't think so. Let me think about this. Well, let's just Mind Slayer him once. And then we Mind Slayer lock him. Just to see what he has. Before I do anything though, I'm gonna attack. I don't have a mana to repeal here, but if he's gonna do something like block with 4 creatures, then I might actually just repeal and delay the Mind Stroke by 1 turn, but he doesn't, so that's okay. So we need to play this, right? Yeah. Next turn we get Academy Ruins. Oh, it's Convoke. Now I understand the Genesis Chamber. Now I understand. He plays Genesis Chamber and he plays a bunch of cheap creatures. And he wants to Convoke into something big. He wants to Court of Calling. He maybe has some other Convoke spells. I'm trying to think if there's a 4-drop that can stop us. I don't think so. I mean, Siege Rhino is probably what he's going for, but well, he can't hardcast Siege Rhino, so it would be weird if he had it, but it's like a 4-drop that he gets a Norin. Well, that doesn't change anything. Oh, Pop and Elvish Visionary. Well, I'm definitely gonna pop something. I just want to look at his deck, basically. I'm not gonna play anything else. So we have Archangel of Thune twice, Pride Mates, different artworks, all different sets, Court of Calling, Essence Warden, Soul Satan. He plays 12. He plays 12 different Soul Sisters. Hey, Boss MC Rider. Return to ranks with Convoke. Okay. And he plays 4 pops. So he plays 12 Soul Sisters, 4 pops. Plays a Court of Calling. Yeah, well, we're only really worried about the pops. All the other, and that he swarms us with creatures and uses Gavany Township before we can do anything, but I think this is probably a very good matchup for us. Oh, I should have played the Eternal Witness because he can get his path back, but it doesn't really matter at all. So he has Eternal Witness and Elvish Visionary. I will just get Academy Runes now. And then next turn we win basically. Next turn we have Mind Stable Lock. And we win. So he has so many blockers. We need to bounce his Genesis Chamber once we have Mindsaver Lock, because otherwise he's just gonna have blockers because of Norn. Well, he concedes. Let's see here. What do we want from the sideboard? Sunring Titan seems good. Wonka Engine seems good if we can protect it. Etherize seems good. I don't think we need Dismember. He has so many creatures. Spot removal is not gonna be very good. Chalice could be good. Chalice on 1 hits a lot of his cheap creatures and it hits his 4 path. I kind of like Chalice on 1. I think if we have a Chalice on 1 and a Wonka Engine, we basically win the game. Remount is probably not very good. Well, a Remount is good against the stuff that has Convoke, but not against the rest. I don't really like the Repeal because he plays so many creatures, so many cheap creatures, and there's not like one big creature that you really want to repeal. Like there's not a Tarmogoyf in there. There's not a single creature in his deck we really want to repeal. I guess an Archangel of Doom, but at that point it's already a little bit late, and I guess Solem can go out too. So Remount repeals on the Solem. I think I'm thinking about boarding out, and I'm only really thinking about Chalice and Sunring. I don't know. Hang on. These 4 cards I'm thinking about boarding in basically, and these 8 about boarding out. I mean, Solem is a great value creature. I just think something like Sunring Titan or Wonka Engine is gonna have a bigger role in winning. And Chalice on 1 or Etherize. Then Solem. Maybe we can decide on this. Both Solems go out and we keep 2 Remounts to repeal. Remount is so bad though. Unless we hit a Court of Calling or return to ranks. What else? Repeal Remount or Solem as the last card. I'm gonna choose Repeal. We had 2 repeal that game, and there was no creature we really wanted to repeal. Wow, this is a tough decision. Usually I wouldn't keep this. Usually my rule of thumb kind of is I have to have a blue source, and we can't use the Sunring Titan here, but we basically get like 3 or 4. We basically get to draw 4 cards before it matters. This is a tough decision for me, whether to keep this or not. And we have a Noxious Revival in case, I don't know, he destroys one of our lands, we can get it back. So there's like, we can draw, there's 14 draws, which gain us a blue source. 14 draws, 15 draws even. There's 15 draws, which gain us a blue source. And then there's like Oblivion Stone, Womka Engine twice, Better Skull. There's about 20 draws, which make this hand amazing, and we have 4 draw steps to reach any of them. So if you look, so every blue source, every expedition map, every Solem, Better Skull, Womka Engine, Mindslaver. If we draw any of these in the first 4 turns, we will be okay. That's 20 cards in our deck. About 20 cards. I think it's 19. Oh, and you also have to count any additional mine, tower, or power plant is going to enable the Sunring. I think we keep this. So there's more than 20. There's about half our deck is a good draw. Any land, basically. Any land is going to enable turn turn 4 Sundering Titan. So at the very least we have a turn 4 Sundering Titan. I would rather see an island there, but this is okay too. But I think if you actually do the math and you see that there's like more than 20 cards which you can draw, and you have like at least 3 draw steps to draw one of them, I think you have to keep this. And we're up a game, so. And look at his start. I don't really. I'm not worried about him gaining life. And there's an angel. So I'm always trying to play the one I have I have several of last, because I've realized that my opponent seems to think that last Tron land you play is the one you drew the last, or you got the latest kind of. So when you already have a mine and a power plant and you play a tower, they just assume you kind of ripped it, or that you only have one of them and you might have multiple of the others. So whenever I have multiples of a single Tron land, I try to play that one last. It seems counterintuitive, at least it did to me first, but it's really how it has been working out, and it's just how most people use their Ghost Quarter or their Tectonic Edge or their Fulminator Mage, whatever you played last. And it's either whatever you played last or it's Tower, and in this situation it really doesn't matter because Tower is the one we do have several of. And they choose Tower because Tower produces 3 mana, obviously. So the question is, if we draw a blank, are we going to slam Angel? And I think it's the right thing to do. He probably has some artifact hate, something like destroy target artifact, or something like exile artifacts, like revoke existence maybe. And he probably has 1 or 2 of those artifact hate cards, right? But what he really has, and we know of, is a playset of Path. And if he paths an angel, at least we get a blue source, right? And once we have a blue source, we have gifts and Noxious Revival, so we will just get Eugene. We will just get 1 of each threat, basically. And then we will put a Eugene on the board, and I think he just dies to Eugene. He has no way to deal with Eugene the Spirit guy. And currently he seems to be lost in thought, not sure what to play. And there goes his fifth Soul Sister. So I was already really surprised when I saw that he plays 12 Soul Sisters total, because usually you don't need that many. Yeah, and I have to say, you're gonna gain a bunch of life, but who cares, right? I don't care about your life total. And usually you see Soul Sisters lists running 8 but not 12. I think 12 is too much. And I really don't understand if I mean, if he wants to play Genesis Chamber and get a bunch of creatures and then convoke Court of Calling, why don't you play something that actually wins you the game if it enters the battlefield? Archangel of Thune? I mean, what about Craterhoof Behemoth, right? If you have 10 creatures, that is gonna win you the game if it enters the battlefield. When you and you can Court of Calling that pretty easy. I guess the problem is that all your creatures are tapped after the Court of Calling and they can't attack with the +X/+X. So what you really want is something, I don't know, something else, I guess. But Archangel of Thune doesn't seem like the right thing. So he's gonna lose both his lands now. And he's gonna be stuck with 6 Soul Sisters. Well, 5 and a creature that really doesn't matter. Oh, we could have let one open, doesn't really matter. Okay, we're drawing blanks here, but it's weird that he is not attacking. Oh, I guess he's gonna attack now. Yeah, 4/6. And there we are, okay. I'm gonna attack again with everything, and then Etherize. Well, I'm kind of stuck between, do I want to Etherize or do I want to Gifts? Etherize seems blowout here, so I guess we're gonna Etherize first. And he's gonna have to discard 5 cards. And he concedes. Well, that was round 1. Let me show you the list again. This is the list we're playing. To make this a little bit bigger, sideboard is not that important.